time for the glass ceiling. Will there be justice for Nnennaya Onu? 2 weeks ago, we talked about how she was murdered in her late father's compound, and she was murdered because she went to ask for her right and her mother's right to inherit her father's property. Her sister claims that their father's relatives seized all his property when he died because he didn't have any sons. Their mother was left to fend for herself, to fend for her daughters. And when they grew up, Nnennaya Onu went back to fight for her father's land. And that's how they chopped off her legs, set her on fire, and she was burned alive in his compound. Now, while most of you were shocked and disgusted that dispossession of widows and daughters is something that is still happening, some of you said that there are very good reasons why women should not inherit land. So I decided that we needed to hear your reasons and we need to respond to your reasons. Last week we heard from Idenyi Ifeanyi Stan Hillary. Today, let's hear from Nwankwo. Nwankwo sent a message that said, quote, "Hello Sandra, this is Nwankwo. This story is too sad indeed. But may I suggest that we Africans be more circumspect in changing every custom of the land. For example, the worry of losing a family property can be mitigated by maybe a clause saying, let the girls inherit their father's property, but with a clause that they use the proceeds in their lifetime and never sell such property, so that upon her death, the land reverts to her father's relation. We need not throw away the concern of losing a family property. Rather, let the changes grow organically." End quote. First of all, Nwankwo, thank you very much for your message. Thank you for keeping it respectful. And thank you for taking the time to point out what you believe are the concerns behind the custom, as well as suggesting a solution. And just like I did with Hillary Idenyi's message last week, I'm going to address your points one at a time. Now, let me start with what you call the worry of losing family property. Based on the rest of your message, this can mean two things. Number one, the woman marrying outside the family. Number two, the woman selling the property. Let's start with the first one. You only believe that a woman loses her property when she gets married because you believe that a woman leaves her family when she gets married while her husband remains in his. After all, we don't say men should not inherit property because the family will lose it when he gets married. Right? And if you think about it, we only believe this because our ancestors believed that women were property. They did not see women, married women, as their husband's equals. They saw them as belonging to the husband in a way that the husband did not belong to the wife. Right? But at some point, we have to ask ourselves, why are we choosing to hold on to this obviously incorrect view? Because we're making a choice. We're choosing to hold on to it. Wives are not property. Husbands are not property. When two people get married, each of them is now part of their spouse's family while still belonging to their own birth family. Because remember, last week I said that most married women are still making contributions to their birth families. They're still sending money home. They're still taking in their relatives to train. They're still contributing to family and compound projects. Right now, the wife of the Ondo State governor is running for Senate in her birth state, Imo State. So now let's say that Betty Akeredolu inherits some of her parents' property in Imo State. Are we saying that the family has now lost that property? Now, you might maybe say that when her children inherit the property from her, then that means that the property has gone to the Akeredolu family. But here's my question. Are those children not her blood relatives? Are they not the blood relatives of her father? Did they not call him grandpa? So doesn't that make them part of her birth family? Anyway, let's talk about the clause that Nwankwo has suggested. He said, quote, let the girls inherit their father's property, but with a clause that they use the proceeds in their lifetime and never sell such property, so that upon her death, the land reverts to her father's relations. End quote. Upon her death, the land reverts to her father's relation. But again, her children, are they not her father's relations? And as for that part about never selling the property, here's my question. Does a man have the right to sell property he inherited? If he doesn't have a right to sell property he inherited, then no problem. But if he does have a right to sell property he inherited, then hasn't the family also lost that land? In most Ijaw communities, men inherit property from their mother's family, not their father's family. So when a man dies, his son doesn't get land. In most Ijaw communities. But even in Ijaw communities where it is sons that inherit from fathers, they make provisions for women with no brothers. Let me use Okrika as an example. If a man has no sons in Okrika, his daughters inherit his land when he dies. When one of those daughters gets married, the land still belongs to her. When she has children, the children are considered to belong to her husband's family. But every third child is considered to belong to her family. So when she dies, it's only that third child that can inherit her land, because only that third child still belongs to her birth family. The other children will inherit their father's property. You know my guest who always comes on the show, Chief Andy Oboforibo. He's often a guest here. Now, he's the chief of his father's people, but he told me that his brother, who is a third child, belongs to their mother's family. It's that brother that will inherit their mother's village house, which she inherited from her mother, who inherited it from her father. I gave you that example to make a point. The point is, even among the Okrika, who also believe that a married woman now belongs to her husband's family, they found a way to make sure that daughters can still inherit their father's property. So my question is, why do we talk as if culture cannot change? Why do we talk about it like we can't adjust it to reflect what we all know is fair? Are we just hiding behind culture when really we all know that we can shape culture? What do you think, Lagos? 0700-993-993-993. That's for men. Women, call me on 01465-7190. I've taken you on such a long journey, but I hope you came with me on that journey. And I hope that some of the things I said stuck with you. And I want to hear your thoughts on some of the things I said. Women, call me on 01465-7190. Men, call me on 0700-993-993. Hello, thanks for calling us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Sandra, sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. What's your name?
Mrs. Chinyere, and I'm calling from Okoko.
Welcome, Mrs. Chinyere. What do you think?
It's a pity. Those people that committed that murdering, where are they? Has police arrested them?
Yes.
All right. Now, a woman that the brethren, the brothers, the father's family or kindred refused to train, and they confiscated the property. And the mother, even the mother is still alive, suffering. Now she came to ask for the property for the mother that is alive, and they killed her. What an abomination! In fact, even the person that said the property should be given to the girls from the family, and they will not sell it. Look, in my own husband's compound, a man sold almost the grave of the father to a foreigner. See, anything for that family, only that our Igbo people were crazy about male and female. But in Yoruba land, the female gets whatever the father or the mother has. And they continue to move ahead. The earth, people will live and go. You can't carry the earth away. It's greediness that are doing those men. Let them get, and even they will even kill that man if care is not taken. They are the people that killed him. If any family has land, they will try to kill. They did it to my own family, killed my brother, and now they are struggling to take the lands. In fact, that tradition is supposed to change. I thank God in Nigeria, Okreka people are doing something which other people will not do. Igbos will not do it. That's why people, at times, yesterday, Abi Pastor Suleiman talk about Igbos. I was so aggressive, I was annoyed. But when you look in, you see that our people, their tradition, they don't want to change it because of their greediness, selfishness. They killed a young lady. I beg, those people will die in prison.
Thank you very much for calling, ma'am. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
James from Missouri.
James, what do you think about my response to Nwankwo's message?
The innocent women should not be too greedy. They're entitled to inherit their husband property, their husband land. Woman can only inherit the father's land if she is the only child of the father.
I see.
If there is no male child there, so if she is the only child of the father.
What did you say? What did you say your name was?
James.
James, how many are you in your family, James?
We are 8.
You're 8.
Yes.
What's your position in the family?
5, number 5.
You're number 5. How many girls are in the family?
Only one.
Only one girl.
Yes.
Does your father have property?
Yes.
Okay. Is your father alive?
He's still alive.
Okay. Has he talked about sharing the property to you for you people?
We don't, for our place. No, we don't do that. Though.
You don't share property in your place.
Yes, my father is still alive.
So what happens? God forbid, after he's not alive anymore, what will happen to the property?
What happens is that if you have money, you go and demolish that old building and build another building, but you build your own different. That you live with your wife and your children. Just build a house for family members. Everybody is entitled to live there when it comes home.
I see.
But you will not live there. If I have money now, I will go and build a house.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Cross River, Bubra.
You're from Bubra in Cross River. And Bubra, they don't used to allow women to inherit unless it's an only girl.
Only girl. The thing is that if you have money now, I'll go and rebuild the house and leave it there. For any of our family members, I'll have my own different to live with my family.
In this situation, Uncle, there was no male child. There were only female children, and they refused to give their father's property to the woman or to her children. What do you think about that?
If it is only the girls, they are the owner. If it is only the girls, whether they are 10 or 20, if they are the owner, they are only the children.
Okay, thank you very much for calling. Chidima is on the line. Hi, Chidima.
Hi, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Welcome.
Sandra, this very issue is a critical issue.
Yes, sir.
First of all, the people, thank God you said that they have arrested the people that have hand in killing of Nnennaya.
Yes.
You see, our Igbo culture, there are things that need to be adjusted there. Like the first letter you read last time, is it Raymond or so? was saying something that tradition cannot be changed. Sandra, tradition be changed. It was set by our forefathers. Is it not the same tradition that in our forefathers' day, a woman is not allowed to be trained in school? Is it not the same our forefather that put that tradition? Is the same our forefather that forbids a woman to come and build house in her father's compound with her husband's money? But today, you find out that it's the same women that they refuse to train in school. They are the ones that are taking care of these families.
That's right.
Take, for instance, our late Dora Kunyeli. There are no male in that family, but she's the one carrying the family. So there are in this our Igbo tradition, a lot of things have to be adjusted. Women will come for. There is a woman close to me. She left her husband's house to go to her father's compound and build a mansion. Why is it not forbidden? And they will come all the way from their husband's house to contribute for the well-being of their father's compound. Why will a woman not inherit part of her father's property? It's a taboo. This tradition, they have to change it. Certain things have to be changed. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, Chidema. I appreciate it. Sam is on the line. Hi, Sam.
Hello, Sandra. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Quite a long time.
Okay.
When are we having this our debate again?
May 9th. It will start May 9th.
Okay. That's what we'll be expecting.
Okay.
For this inheritance problem, I think it's a lifelong problem. It has been there for a very long time. And women will find it difficult to fight it. Because it seems it's not a Nigeria thing. I think it's a world thing. If I ask what is your name now, you will not mention your mother's name. You will say Sandra Ezekwesili.
It's not a world thing. No. It's not a world thing because you just heard people saying in Yoruba land, women inherit property. Nobody said.
No, I'm not saying. What I mean by this is that it's not even the inheritance of it's for women to fight it very well. Is to first of all be able to answer their mother's name.
No, I want us to focus on inheritance. Because if you start to go off on that tangent, I will follow you there and I will win you there. So let's stay here. Let's stay on inheritance.
Inheritance. Inheritance can be divided into for me. Land, not housing. Housing. I don't even count house as land. Some like have other movable property. But when it comes to land itself, lands are owned by community. They are not owned by a father.
Yes, but they share and give your father. So in my community, for instance, there's community land. But in that community land, there's a part that has been shared and given to my father.
So now by the time you inherit it, it now become your husband's own.
Why does it become your husband's own?
Because your children will bear your husband's name. Not the family's name.
So are my children not calling my father grandfather?
No, they're not calling your own grandfather's name. They will calling your husband's name.
But they refer to my father as their grandfather, no?
Yes. If they
have my father's blood running through their veins.
Yes,
no?
We agree. If we have that one, if they start bearing your father's name in that community, no problem. But when the community starts, they say, where is your father?
Let me ask you. Yes. Are they blood relatives of my father?
Quite sure, yes.
But they cannot inherit his property. Why?
Why don't that? I have told you of movable property and the land.
We're talking about land now. We're focusing on land. So they are blood relatives of my father cannot inherit his.
Yes, they can. Why? Here and this thing. You understand? But what can they inherit it? They can inherit it there. Say they can take, this is my father's land, in my grandfather's land, yes, and stay there. But you understand? But the land should not revert to your husband's name. Your husband's name.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, Sam, but thank you very much for calling. Olodudemuiwa says women should have exclusive right, just like men, without any clause to inherit from their parents. The perpetrators of this evil act must be arrested and punished lawfully. Culture is dynamic. It can be modified to fit in today's modern way of life. We've got a message here from Chinonye Blessing who says, Sandra, in Yoruba land, I come from everybody in in Yoruba land I came from, everybody, both male and female, are equal because you are both children and have the same stand and ground, no head or tail. Nosike says justice is good, yet it won't bring back the dead. Let's hold our peace and let God fight for us. That's why Nigeria is the way it is. Yeah, because you're expecting God to come down and fight for you. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
It's
Chinaya, welcome. Go ahead.
I may not mind my voice, I get cough.
Sorry.
Hey, Sandra. That is line
Chinaya, your line no day clear. Be like say you go try call us back. We have messages on WhatsApp. Yes, very quickly. Let's take as many of them as we can.
Rotimi says, Sandra, any culture and tradition that tend to promote envy, hatred, and greed and heartaches should be done away with. What should be the end result of a culture? Is it not to make a people happy and progressive? This is saying, good evening, Sandra. Please, if a woman is entitled to her husband's property as the tradition claimed, why are the husband family denying the property to the woman again? What is here is woman is not entitled to property. All
right, let's leave it at that. We'll take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll keep talking. I'm still trying to wrap my head around Sam's message, because Sam seems to be saying that surname is more important than blood, because if my children are my grandfather's grandchildren, they're related by blood, but the fact that they're not bearing Ezekwesili, then let's take a break. We'll be right back.
I find the strength I need every time that I look into your eyes. And when the night comes, you hold me in your arms and you say, I'll never let you go, my sweet baby. You'll never let me down.
Unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
Your bank, your way. No matter where you go, no matter how we be, I go always there for you. Anything where you talk for, whatever you think, I cannot need it back for you. All I ask in return is that you treat me a little better with eyebrow. Toilet cleaner, my hygiene now your own. Toilet cleaner, it's a win-win for me. So make me win, no. Sure you wanna feel that boost? Allow me to introduce Amber energy drink. No more shutting down, we're going up. Oh yeah, get ready, stimulate your energy. Amber is the remedy. Go around there somebody. Oh yeah, get ready, stimulate your energy. Amber is the remedy. Go around there somebody. Say, what are you waiting for? Now you can do more because I'm buying a drink there for you. I'm buying a drink there for
Amber Energy Drink. Stimulate the energy in you.